Elon Musk just called White House trade advisor dumber than a sack of bricks. Yes, that happened. And no, Navarro isn't laughing. The fight began when Peter Navarro, the man behind Trump's tariff war, went on CNBC and said this: Elon Musk is not a car manufacturer, he's a car assembler. Musk didn't take that lying down. He fired back on X. Navarro is truly a moron. What he says here is demonstrably false. And just in case that wasn't clear, Musk added, Navarro is dumber than a sack of bricks. Behind the insults, cold, hard tariffs. Trump just dropped a new round of them. Bad news for Tesla, which relies on parts from China, and Navarro was the man cheering them on for years. Musk also showed up, virtually, in Italy, talking trade with far-right leader Matteo Salvini.
I hope that the United States and Europe can establish a very close partnership. We obviously are, there's an alliance already, but I'm hopeful that there can be a very close relationship with America and Europe. And I'm hopeful, for example, with the tariffs, that at the end of the day, I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation, effectively creating a free trade zone between Europe and North America. And that would be that's what I hope occurs.
Navarro clapped back. Again, Elon sells cars, that's what he does. He doesn't understand this stuff. And what about Trump? So far, he's silent, watching two of his biggest fans rip each other apart over his policy. The White House? Well, here's what the new press secretary said.
Just a quick follow-up. Sure. There's been some public sparring between Elon Musk and the president's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, on some of these tariffs. Musk actually referred to Navarro today as being, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks. Are you at all, or is the administration, the president, all concerned that this is maybe impacting the public's understanding of these tariffs? It might be messing with the message on it?
No, look, these are obviously two individuals who have very different views on trade and on tariffs. Boys will be boys, and we will let their public sparring continue. And you guys should all be very grateful that we have the most transparent administration in history. And I think it also speaks to the president's willingness to hear from all sides, that he has people at the highest levels of this government in this White House who have very diverse opinions on very diverse issues, but the president takes all opinions in mind, and then he makes the best decision based on the best interests of the American public.
Musk is not assembling words anymore. He's launching them.
I'd like to begin by reading a quote from Bill Ackman, the billionaire well known for his support of Donald Trump. "We are headed," he said, "we are headed for a self-induced economic nuclear winter, and we should start hunkering down." Preston Caldwell, excuse me. Preston Caldwell, a senior economist for Morningstar Research, likewise said, "If they're maintained," this is his quote, "if they're maintained, the tariff hikes announced April 2nd represent a self-inflicted economic catastrophe for the United States." Meanwhile, Larry Fink of BlackRock says most CEOs he has spoken to would say we have already entered a recession. The damage of Donald Trump's tariff tax has already been done. And regardless of what the markets say, from 1 hour to the next, there are no signs that the chaos is changing at any time soon. Americans are anxious. Nobody looking at their retirement accounts today is feeling anything close to liberated. It has been a hellacious few days for people worried about their 401ks and their savings and their kids' future. And that's not changing anytime soon. Before things get worse, Donald Trump should immediately reverse his reckless trade war. He should halt his tariff tax at once. And he should start focusing more on America's actual trade adversaries like China, instead of picking a fight with the entire world and causing chaos and steering us towards a recession in the process. The chaos within the Trump administration was shown a few minutes ago when Elon Musk called Peter Navarro, the chief architect of these tariffs, a moron. That's Musk's word. He called him a moron. Their plan is so crazy, so controversial, that this administration cannot get its act together, with them calling names about each other, against one another, about this tariff plan. This is perhaps the most significant task for the Republican congressional leadership since Donald Trump became president. The choice in front of Leader Thune and Speaker Johnson is simple. Choose Donald Trump or choose American families. Stand up to Donald Trump or watch him trigger a recession. So this morning, I am writing to Speaker Johnson, urging him to put the Senate-passed resolution undoing Donald Trump's tariffs for a vote in the House. Let me quote from the letter, quote, "Plain and simple, the Trump trade war is a Trump tax on families, raising their costs by nearly $4,000 per year and devastating small businesses, forcing them to raise prices or lay off staff. It is a dangerous, foolish exercise that is wreaking havoc on the American economy and could very well tee up a recession. If the President doesn't back off, Congress must take action. The Senate has already taken action to provide relief from tariffs on Canada, and the House should follow immediately. Remember, this resolution affects Canada. Nobody understands what the heck the President is doing with Canada. It was bipartisan. It got 4 Republican votes and passed the Senate. So the Senate has done its part. Now the Speaker must act if he cares about avoiding a recession, if he cares about American families. I am confident that if Speaker Johnson were to put the Senate's Canada resolution on the floor, the bipartisan resolution we passed, that it would pass the House as well. In an additional matter, this morning, I am proud to be joining Senators Wyden, Kaine, as well as Senators Shaheen, Welch, Warren, and Senator Paul to introduce another resolution that would put a halt on all of Donald Trump's global policies. The letter I'm sending, the resolution we passed dealt with Canada. This deals with all of the global tariffs. I'm very proud to co-sponsor this legislation. The Senate has the power and authority to stop this madness, and we have a duty to act in a bipartisan way to repeal these tariffs. As you know, the previous resolution by Senator Kaine got 4 Republican votes here in the Senate. Our resolution, this resolution, would terminate the emergency that Donald Trump has declared in order to slap tariffs on 49% of products Americans buy from other countries. It would terminate that. Again, instead of picking a fight with the entire world, Donald Trump should be focused on going after America's actual adversaries. The Senate has the power and authority to stop Donald Trump's tariff madness. We Senate Democrats intend on making sure the Senate gets the chance to exercise that power. Senator Wyden's resolution is privileged and will be able to go to the floor of the Senate. Now on the budget.